Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a practical Western astrologer, and I'm here today to talk about the Virgo personality. So we're going to be looking at the personal planets within the sign of Virgo, as well as the Virgo Rising. The personal planets being the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. So stay tuned. But before we do dive into today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the bell. And if you are interested in a personal reading from myself, then you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find my practical astrology ebooks and merch. All the links will be in the description box below. I do hope that you find this video to be helpful today. Let's do this. Okay, so before we do get into this, I would like to know, what are your Virgo placements? Let us know in the comment section, and also let us know if you resonate with your placements today. Okay, so to begin, so looking at the Virgo personality overall, if you have a Virgo personality, you are methodical, dedicated, correcting, and ever so helpful. And when you help, you expect nothing, well, at least very, very little in return. You serve because you want to, not because you're looking for a round of applause. Then again, when others are too demanding or they are too critical of you, you can retaliate with not so pleasant words. It's like, sure, I'm not looking for your validation here, but if you start mocking me, ignoring me, or dismissing me, I'm going to feel a type of way about it. Then again, I also think that underneath, you don't let on that you want a big fat gold star for your efforts, for your work, for your abilities. And you want your opinions, your feedback, and your critiques to be heard. After all, you are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication and delivering information. But you do so in practical ways, in honest and discreet ways, but also in matter of fact ways. I mean, the thing you keep on about, the thing that you keep on repeating and repeating and repeating, there's most likely going to be a reason for it. You'll communicate what you think needs to be improved if you have Mercury in Virgo. You'll consider helpful solutions when it comes to other people's emotions if you have the Moon in Virgo. And you'll become angered by others who don't follow your advice if you have Mars in Virgo. But back to the whole gold star thing. You're the people who felt the pressure to perform well when you were younger, whether this be at school, at home, when it came to a certain family member situation. Perhaps being clean, well put together, and tidy were reoccurring lessons. Time and time again, you were taught the importance of attending to your chores, being on time, having good hygiene, and coming up with solutions to issues and problems. However, it is also likely that you were criticized for being lazy, or for taking too much time for yourself. Perhaps perfection was repeated in both open and hidden ways. And so there is this subconscious part of you that feels on edge. This inner critic, which never shuts up. It says, you need to do better. You need to keep busy. You shouldn't be resting. You know, it's interesting because I talked about this difficulty relaxing within the Gemini personality video. And this was due to the mind just continuously thinking and needing to be mentally stimulated. But with you, Virgo, it's a similar situation, only there's work involved when it comes to you. There's also something you must be doing, improving, fixing, mending, and cleaning. It's not about learning for learning's sake like Gemini. It's about being practical. It's about being useful with the information you learn. Now, on one hand, this busy bee, this hardworking and disciplined part of you is so dedicated. You deliver amazing results. And if you think about it, your ability to practice and to keep refining your craft, I mean, you get better at what you do, and so you soar within your area of expertise. But on the other hand, you can go overboard. You can become neurotic, where you worry excessively, you obsess about things that aren't even all that important, though they may be important to you. You feel intense irritability and nervousness, and you panic. You panic that something bad is going to happen, or you need to do more. And these things can take a toll on your health. Okay, sure, a little panic and anxiety have benefits. Such things can protect us from danger, from threats. They can help us when it comes to the likes of business, when it comes to competition, for example. But too much can have major impacts on our nervous system and our stress levels. You can doubt yourselves a lot. And I think that as you age, Virgo, you learn to manage your stress levels and your excessive worrying. You grow to develop greater balance and harmony both within and between you and other people. For instance, when someone isn't listening, when they are not accepting your message, you learn to accept that instead of continuously pushing, you can walk away. And you can establish greater inner peace. You realize that when someone doesn't accept your help, your services, or your advice, it might not be the message that they want to hear, or it's that it might not be about you. It might not be about your message either. Further suggesting that you develop greater empathy for other people's emotions. Kind of going back to the whole matter of fact thing, you know, when you are matter of fact, sometimes you overlook the emotional part. I can certainly relate to this. I have a Virgo rising. And not only does this help your health, but other people see a different side to you. They see this empathetic and compassionate side to you. Still, you can be such shrewd, witty, and detail-oriented people. I mean, the fact that you have this always room for improvement attitude, it just shows that you realize that you aren't perfect. And there's actually humility in that. It shows that you're open to other options and you're open to variety. You strive to do the best you can. Though, to be honest, when you're younger, when you're immature, you can have this attitude of, I am perfect, and so I don't need to change. I can do no wrong. I am superior. I think life experiences teach you a lot about your ego. You learn to find the balance between ego and humility. Times when you're called to express your ego with confidence, and times when you're called to let go of your ego and to be patient. Alright, so let's get into the personal planets in Virgo as well as the Virgo rising. So let's firstly look at having your rising in Virgo. When other people first meet you, they are greeted with these qualities of helpfulness, knowledge, cleanliness, and being quite bright. The way you walk or move throughout the day can seem meek, gentle. You don't like attracting too much attention to yourself. Yet it can feel like everyone is staring at you due to how self-conscious you can be. You don't like bothering other people, but if others start talking to you, okay, you're willing to contribute, you're willing to help and to ask questions, to be so inquisitive and curious. You can be a magnet for people in need of some assistance, some direction, and you'll gladly give it. I have a Virgo rising, like I said, and people always ask me for directions. They always ask me for help. Which, by the way, I do have Jupiter in Virgo, conjunct my rising in Virgo. So just imagine the level of worry on my part, the level of panic in my life. I'm working on it, at least I'm trying to. Still, you're people who come across as helpful, as if you're willing to be of service, if you will. You appear well educated, and there is a certain charm about you. You can show curiosity in your eyes, in your smile, and when others talk, you listen. Unless you're emotionally charged about something, of course. However, you can also come across as grumpy, moody. You can come across as just so over other people and their actions. It depends on the day. It depends on your mood. Moreover, you can be dedicated when it comes to your aims, when it comes to your ambitions. You show great devotion, and along the way, you can see what needs to be changed and improved. You're willing to adapt. Perhaps you're often told by others just how organized, how productive, how intelligent you are. I mean, this is the first house, and the first house is the house of I am. Then again, in your mind, it's like, I am a mess. Sure, the finished result looks clean, it looks polished, but the amount of stress and freaking out that occurred throughout the process, holy crap. Now, it's also important to locate your chart ruler, which is Mercury, because your Mercury placement is going to give you more information about your services, your work, your stress levels too. It's also going to provide you with information about your daily habits. Though essentially, your journey of self-discovery is tied to your skills, self-improvement, and self-care too, because you do need it from time to time. Moving on to the Sun in Virgo. All right, so moving on to the Sun in Virgo. All right, so we're taking this shrewd, logical, and problem-solving sign, and we are connecting it with the Sun, which is about applause, pride, ego, identity, and expressing ourselves. Therefore, you aren't the kind of people to toot your own horns or look for applause when you help out or when you assist someone in some way. Besides, you prefer to work hard for any type of recognition. People who are seen as amazing and just wonderful people without actually doing anything, you think, how bizarre, how bizarre. However, when you are seen for your service, for your kindness, and for your contributions, you feel really, really good about yourselves. You feel important. You feel like you have a purpose. And whilst you might show great modesty, your knowledge and your excellent decision-making skills lead to applause anyway. Others can quite clearly see the research you've done, the amount of time you spent on something, the effort that was put into your craft. Sure, you might not be everybody's cup of tea because you say things that are critical, but there are people who see the importance of your perspective. On the other hand, I also think that as you age, you learn to understand when to zip it, when a certain criticism isn't really necessary, and how to not respond to other people's uneducated opinions. Maybe you also learn that you can be wrong too, and that at times you can come across as unsympathetic in your approach. Still, perhaps others compliment you for your intelligence, for your wit. Also, you feel good about yourself when you find a routine or a system or a way of doing things that suits you. Naturally, make sure to consider the aspects being made to your Sun, or if you have other placements, which can make this quite different. Still, you express qualities of correction, devotion, critical thinking, and mastering your craft, and these things are tied to your purpose. Also, make sure to consider the house that your Sun in Virgo is in, because this is going to tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. The Moon in Virgo. Okay, so we are going from outwardly displaying the Virgo traits to feeling the Virgo traits on a much deeper and private level. Therefore, you're someone who analyzes your emotions. You typically try to keep your cool when it comes to emotional situations. And you try not to overreact to things or be overly emotional about situations. This cool, calm, and collected approach can be really helpful when it comes to social situations, when it comes to emergencies, when it comes to work. Keeping a level head can help you make rational decisions. It's this whole notion of remaining calm when there is an emergency. On the other hand, there can be times when you feel really nervous, really anxious, times when you present a cool exterior, but a completely chaotic inner world. Maybe you choose not to talk to others about how you're feeling because you don't want to bother them, or because you don't want any help. You have difficulty accepting help. You struggle to ask for help in this way. Not to mention, you might compartmentalize or rationalize your emotions. Now, whilst sure, these things aren't completely negative, they can come with their benefits. Keeping things bottled up for too long or not processing your emotions can come with their downsides, such as avoiding your pain. Still, you are so supportive when it comes to other people. You're willing to step in and help, and you're unlikely to lash out at other people. But maybe accepting some emotional support can be beneficial too. Oh, and perhaps you need a routine in order to feel emotionally secure and stable and safe. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Virgo moon as well as other placements. Though essentially you are instinctively systematic, practical, adaptable, and orderly people. You're careful about how you react to things, and you can be so gentle when supporting other people through a hard time. Now, do also make sure to consider the house that your moon in Virgo is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Hi, it's me again. So I just wanted to inform you about the practical astrology guide that I have created. So it is a 20-day practical astrology guide, and it covers the ins and outs of astrology, looking also at how a natal chart is created. It touches on the astrological ages, it looks at astronomy as well, and also looking at those practical representations of the 7 classical planets and the angular points. So if you are someone who is interested in astrology, you're new to it, even if you are an astrology student or you're an astrologer, because we can all learn something different from each other, I definitely recommend this guide. My whole intention with this guide is that you will walk away from it thinking of astrology hopefully practically and also differently. And my major key aim really with this guide is using the stars for self-awareness. So learning about astrology, but also learning more about yourself and learning more about other people. Plus, it is super affordable, costing only about £2 per day. Though, if you are interested in just a little taster, so looking at you dipping your toes into what this guide is all about, that is available for you as well. Mercury in Virgo. You are a methodical communicator, a shrewd learner, and a knowledgeable teacher. You take your time when it comes to processing information and learning new things. And you are highly articulate people. You are great at using the correct words within discussions, writings, and essays, and so on. You'll be very particular about the words you use as well, and you tend to be practical minded when it comes to communication. I love listening Virgo Mercury people talk, because there is a system to how you communicate, and you don't typically just blab or go off on tangents. I have the tendency of going off on tangents, and whilst this isn't necessarily a bad thing, I can lose sight of the main point at times. But you, Virgo Mercury, you are great at staying on point. Let's also remember that Mercury is home and is exalted in this sign, meaning Mercury is more than comfortable in this sign. You are able to fully express the qualities of Mercury, such as speaking well, writing beautifully, using appropriate words within discussions, and homing in on important details that shouldn't be overlooked. On the other hand, there can be times when you focus too heavily on the details and you can lose sight of the bigger picture, okay? And then there's also the whole thing of being too matter of fact as well. But it's you who wants to achieve the best results. You make wonderful public speakers, teachers, researchers, writers, journalists. And when it comes to the likes of driving, commuting, or moving throughout your local city or neighborhood, you can be quite particular about where you go. You might go back to the same restaurant, to the same cafe, time and time again, because you know the food and the drink tastes great, or because such places meet your standards. And whilst you may enjoy some time exploring your city, trying new places, you also like some time away from the hustle and bustle. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Virgo Mercury as well as other placements. But overall, you are helpful, practical, and analytical when it comes to the likes of writing, speaking, and media. Now make sure to consider the house that your Mercury in Virgo is in, because this will tell you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Venus in Virgo. Okay, so we are taking this helpful, precise, and diligent energy of Virgo, and we are applying it to your relationships, your resources, and your finances. So you can be very good with your finances and your resources. For instance, you'll plan things out, you'll budget well, you'll make cutbacks when necessary, and you'll truly consider the usefulness of your items and your materials. You also value your work, your craft, your services. It's not enough to do a good job. You must do an excellent job. Whether this be within your actual job or when it comes to your pleasures, your skills, your talents, and your earning potential. So if you love arts and crafts, for instance, you want to perform amazingly. You want the finished results to look great, up to your standards, up to your expectations. And in terms of relationships and love, you will be careful when it comes to choosing a partner. You aren't going to make dumb decisions. You're not just going to let your heart or your emotions lead the way. You're going to think things over. You'll consider how well suited you are. You'll be practical about things. Do you even like the other person? How do they fit into your lifestyle? Will they fit in well, or will things be too complicated? And thinking about friends and relatives, you are super helpful and considerate people. You're the people who will offer your friend a lift if they need it, or you'll ask if a family member needs any help. You can also be really reliable and dedicated within your relationships. However, Venus is in its fall in this sign. And when I think about this, I think about how you tend to overanalyze and overthink things like relationships, security, and financial matters. And there is this tendency of you trying to change other people as well. You might try to fit them into some type of mold or into the type of person that you want them to be. And you might find it difficult to accept another person's flaws. And let's be real here, we all have flaws. Even you. Now, don't get me wrong, at the same time, you can be really helpful in this regard, right? You can assist a friend or a partner if they want to change an unhealthy pattern. But you might also act cold if they don't meet your expectations. Maybe you grow to accept that everyone has their good and their not so good qualities, though focusing on money here again, it is likely that you make money from health, hygiene, cleaning, or being of service. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Virgo Venus, as well as other placements, though essentially you seek dedication and honesty when it comes to your relationships. You can be quite sensible and you value your skills and your routines. Though do also make sure to consider the house that your Venus in Virgo is in, because this will show you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. And lastly, Mars in Virgo. Okay, so here we have the most direct and upfront personal planet of Virgo. So if you want your partner to stop doing something, you'll say it. If there is a situation that is bothering you, it's pissing you off, something to do with your hygiene or improvement or a problem, all as examples here, you'll say it. If there is a solution to be made or a problem to tackle, you will. You might become easily irritated by mess or by inappropriate behavior. And when it comes to your anger, whoa, you can use your words as ways to really hurt other people. You know what other people's insecurities are, their flaws, their weaknesses. And so if they test you, if they're rude, if they attack you, you're ready to use your words as ammo. Indeed, you can be very sharp with your words. You can have a sharp tongue. Also, you tend to make a fuss about things if they're not done correctly, if things are not handled correctly. So if something isn't meeting your expectations or your standards, you will let others know, or you'll handle the situation on your own. You'll fix things. You'll deal with things on your own. And when you're really angry, you will refuse to help others or do anything for them. Still though, you can also be so hands-on and efficient. When there is a job to be done, you'll do it. You will openly offer your advice and your help. You make for amazing leaders when it comes to service, health, cleanliness, organization, and hygiene. And you genuinely want to help those you love and care about. Excuse me, I was just coughing there, so if I sound a bit weird. Yeah, you genuinely want to help those that you care about. Now, it could also be that as you age, you learn to step back from situations that only lead to arguments. So you'll push for help. You'll insist on having things done your way, to your standards, but maybe you learn that certain situations just aren't worth your time. They're not worth your energy. You walk away. Perhaps you realize that other people's ways of doing things, it's not your business. They're not really your concern. Also, when it comes to your goals, you know how to prepare, plan, and practice. You can be so dedicated, and you'll seek to improve your skills along the way. Naturally, do also consider the aspects being made to your Virgo Mars, as well as other placements. Though essentially, you make for excellent craftspeople, researchers, service workers, health enthusiasts, and hygienists. And you are adaptable and observant when it comes to your clients, friends, lovers, and colleagues, and so on. Though do also make sure to consider the house placement that your Virgo Mars is in, because this will show you the area of life that this energy is playing out in. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video all about the Virgo personality. Please do let us know if you found this video to be helpful today, and if you resonated with your placements, I would really appreciate that. And again, let us know your Virgo placements down below, and as always, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on today's video. But with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and also give this video a like if you did like it today. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Hopefully cough free. Bye!